Chapter 5. I want to go to what is that hot country with a lot of money? Dubai, by Grandmaster Flash. Dreaming of Dubai. After taking admission to commerce faculty in a junior college, a groundbreaking change unexpectedly took place. Mathematics, my former enemy, became a good friend now. In my school days, I would be afraid of its looping tentacles like algebra, geometry, theorems, and simultaneous equations. But here the mathematics appeared in a different and conducive form, that is, commerce mathematics. It was not the previous horrifying octopus, but a friendly dolphin. As I got acquainted with new terms like debit, credit, balance sheet, income, and interest, my love for this subject began to grow. My old habit of checking the sums again and again out of fear benefited me here in tallying the profit and loss figures. I liked the new subjects like economics, organization of commerce, secretarial practice, and accountancy. I got familiar with the business transactions, commercial institutions, banking procedures, trade laws, and a lot of things. However, in fact, the commerce education did not motivate me to step into business in future. Actually, becoming a businessman was neither my dream nor aim. I just wanted to do a white-collar job that would pay me handsomely. I wanted to make my hard-working parents happy. By the way, I didn't have any asset or background essentials for business. I didn't have the traditional wisdom as no one from our Datar family had opted for business in the past. I didn't have the seed capital. I didn't have the communication skills, and I didn't have the foresight to sense opportunities. Then how did I get the inspiration for business? The answer is, it was an accident, or to be precise, a childish dream for money. That obsessive desire to acquire instant wealth pushed me towards the business field. Baba goes to Dubai. Baba, in his Air Force service tenure, had travelled a lot throughout the country. Now he desired to go abroad. There were two reasons behind this aspiration. First, the decade of the 70s was advantageous to the Indian workforce to go abroad for jobs. There was a lot of demand, especially from the Gulf countries, for Asian workers. Baba, in his second job, was working for Air India, and he would watch almost every day a number of aspiring workers going abroad. Thus, Baba began to think in the same way. The second reason was the attraction of a hefty salary offered by foreign companies. Baba would always think of his family's welfare and comfort. He was in search of a well-paid job anywhere abroad and hence expressed his wish to some agents who were active in the business of fixing employment abroad. In a couple of months, Baba got the first opportunity in United Arab Emirates, UAE. He was called for a post of storekeeper in Mina Jebel Ali Port, Dubai, which was under construction then. Although the job was a temporary one, Baba hastily accepted it to make his dream come true. When the agent called him and asked to deposit some amount immediately, Baba actually didn't have that much cash in hand. At the same time, he was not ready to let go of the opportunity so easily. Baba handed over ice gold chain to the agent and told him, "I don't have the hard cash now. Please keep this chain as a deposit. If I am not able to redeem it, you are free to sell it and recover your amount." Baba, after getting his visa approved, immediately left for Dubai to join his new job. There also, he restlessly began to search for even better and steadier jobs. He worked hard at his job, but lived frugally to save more money for his family. After 11 months, when he returned to visit us, he brought fine clothes, ready-made garments, toys, perfumes, wristwatches, and various novel products. We had never seen and used such fine products until then. We were all very happy. I remember for the first time in my life, I had the chance to sip Coca-Cola. Baba also was in an upbeat mood as he would be joining a British company in Dubai named Gulf Cobra Corporation. Back to square one. Baba spent a month joyously in our company and started preparing for his return to Dubai. Just then, a sudden shocking development turned the scene into a tragic one, and we had to encounter an embarrassing situation. The company, Gulf Cobra Corporation, which Baba was about to join, didn't issue him a visa. The swing of our hopes and dreams unexpectedly fell to the ground. And overnight, Baba was jobless, and our world came crashing down. We had to face the consequences helplessly. Our family was solely dependent on Baba, and he was jobless. We tried our best to survive with the little savings we had, but it was not sufficient to cover all expenses. At last, the worst moment came when there wasn't a single rupee in our hands. Baba, in a desperate mood, tried the last option. He mortgaged eyes ornaments and raised some loan. That was sufficient to buy some groceries. It was really a humiliating situation. Sanjay and I were wearing fine clothes and wristwatches, but in fact didn't have a single coin in our pockets. I would feel guilty to ask for money, but I was surprisingly level-headed and fighting the situation courageously. She and Baba had in the past seen even worse times. I had a great faith in our family deity, the Tulja Bhavani. Remembering the goddess, I would encourage us saying, "Sons, these hard days will be over soon. Hope and disappointment are part of life. Hope leads to action, but disappointment causes inertia. Fight the challenge by being optimistic." Baba was trying hard to resolve the hurdles in his visa issuance. We made every attempt to keep our heads high above the water. At last, perhaps I's prayers seemed to reach the goddess, and fate turned its dice again. After 6 months of waiting, Baba got the visa from the company and was called for the post of a storekeeper. Baba, without wasting a moment, rushed to Dubai the next day and joined duty. Before the departure, he ensured that some necessary grocery items were stocked in the home as provisions for a month. He sent a good amount to us from his first month's salary. I can't describe the feeling of joyous relief we had then. I, with the received money, first stocked ample groceries sufficient for the next 3 months and then focused her attention on repayment of the loan to recover her mortgaged jewelry. Since Baba started getting a good salary, the monthly remittances by him again brought a breeze of comfort in our life. Sanjay and I were entitled to get pocket money for the first time in our lives. My fascination with Dubai. The reacquired cozy and well-to-do lifestyle rooted a childish thought in my mind. I began dreaming about money, which could be acquired instantaneously. As Baba was getting an attractive salary in Dubai, I conceived the city to be a heaven for fast money. My foolish perception was that whoever goes to Dubai becomes wealthy overnight. I began dreaming of going there. My fascination for Dubai gained momentum so powerfully that I impulsively acquired a passport at the age of 16. In an attempt to fulfill the dream, I began persuading Baba to call me to Dubai for any job. In those days, making international phone calls was not easy like today and also unaffordable. Hence, I began writing letters after letters to Baba expressing my wish to come to Dubai. I did not have the slightest idea how my father was living there and managing his routine. I was just impatient to grab the opportunity. Baba, on the other hand, was long familiar with the cumbersome living in Dubai and was well aware of the intricacies. Every time he dissuaded me from my wishes, he would reply, "Dada, you first concentrate on your studies and complete graduation so that you can get even better jobs in the future. Temptation for a job in college age will only spoil your educational career. I will call you here at the appropriate time. I became a salesman. Although Baba tried to check my over-enthusiasm, I was not convinced at all. Besides, the picture around was sufficient to increase my impatience. I would watch many Muslim and Christian people from our Kalina suburb going abroad, especially to Gulf countries for a job. When they returned home on a vacation after some time, there was a dramatic change in their living and lifestyle. They would be seen in fine clothes sprinkled with branded perfumes, a wristwatch, and a Japanese transistor in hand, golden chains around their neck, or a golden bracelet around their wrist. This scenario would increase my impulsiveness, and I would time and again insist to convince Baba to call me to Dubai. I, having the same opinion as Baba's, would tell me, "Dada, your father has got the job in Dubai purely on the basis of his previous experience and skill set. On the other hand, you are merely a student and a novice. Who will offer you a good job at this tender age? If you wish to go to Dubai at the earliest, you should at least graduate and get some work experience. Just get it and then go." Finally, I realized the astuteness in I's advice and decided to acquire some work experience after my daily college periods. I began exploring for part-time jobs or some assignments on an earn-and-learn basis. Incidentally, a phenol manufacturing company from Andheri was looking for youth to sell their product door to door. I read the advertisement and applied for the job. Thankfully, due to the grace of God, I got selected. I took up the job enthusiastically and began selling phenol bottles after college hours. It was my first professional experience as a salesman. In childhood days, I had sold tamarinds, but that was a different job. I would stand on the footpath expecting the customers to come to me. Now the scene was opposite. Here I had to go to the customers convincing them to buy the product. It was a hectic and irritating job. Soon I noticed that most of the people don't welcome the uncalled for visiting salesman. They don't show any respect, rather treat the salesman as an intruder. My initial experience was disappointing. Some people would turn me away using abusive and insulting words, and some would even slam the door in my face. Some customers would ask for a sample for free, and those who purchased the bottle would ask me to collect the payment in my next visit. In those days, the price of a phenol bottle was mere ₹10. Yet people would show reluctance to pay the amount and make excuses for the same. I am not generalizing all the customers here. Some of them were really kind-hearted and considerate. They would pay me instantly, appreciating my hard work. I learned a lot of lessons from these sweet and sour experiences. The most prominent lesson among them was that to succeed in salesmanship requires a particular skill, and that is ice on head and sugar in mouth. It means to have patience and courtesy all the time. Selling is an art that can be mastered beginning with sweet words. Even if a customer talks rudely to you, you should never lose your temper and argue. I changed my attitude accordingly and experienced a sudden change. Once I imbibed this skill, I sold other products like ice cream instant mixes, gulab jamun instant mixes, custard powder and jelly on a large scale. I would even go to sell these items in distant suburbs like Ghatkopar, Mulund and Thane. Although I had developed a passion for selling and even succeeded at it, the thought of going to Dubai never faded from my mind. The opportunity came 4 years later, but these years in between actually shaped my professional outlook. An interesting aspect worth mentioning here is I never noticed, through all those years, my smooth transition from a novice to a skilled person.